Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I am Chad Lyons, and I'm joined by my wife, Megan, and we run Epowet Digital Services.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about paid search and paid advertising. Specifically, we're going to focus on Google AdWords and we'll briefly touch on Facebook ads.
Now, paid search, when managed correctly, has the potential to be highly effective. It puts your ad right in front of the user, wherever they are. For example, Google ads show up at the top of the search results, and Facebook ads can show up right in the user's feed. Unlike SEO, Google AdWords ads show up immediately. You don't have to wait until the page gets reindexed or anything like that. As soon as you launch your campaign, it's live. You can also use advanced targeting techniques to ensure that your ads are getting in front of the right people. It's better to be seen by 100 pre-qualified users than it is to be seen by 10,000 random people. These ads are also very flexible. If you want to make updates or changes to your ad, you can do that pretty quick. And again, the changes show up almost immediately. Finally, these campaigns can provide real-time data. This allows you to watch how your campaign is performing and to make tweaks and changes as necessary to maximize your investment.
Now, I know we talked about keywords when discussing SEO, but keywords are the building blocks of an AdWords campaign. And so we're going to take an in-depth look at what they do. You really want to make sure you understand your keywords and how to select profitable keywords when you're building your ads. A lot of companies waste thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars on ill-planned AdWord campaigns. There are 3 types of keyword searches that people do, and if you think about it, you'll see that you do this as well. First is a navigational search. In this search, the users type their intended organization or website along with what they're searching for. For example, Mountain Valley Maternity Ward. The next type of search is the transactional search. In this search, the user is specifically trying to purchase a product or schedule an appointment. For example, schedule a consultation with Mountain Valley Maternity Ward. The last type of search is the informational search. This is the most common type of search, and this is the type that you're going to try and capitalize on in your AdWords campaign. An example of an informational search might be Best Maternity Ward in Utah.
Now, the thing about informational searches is that they reflect the user's intent. A user who searches for the features of the best maternity ward does want to know that information, but their end goal is to actually have a baby somewhere they feel comfortable. And so if you have an ad for that, then you need to make sure that you're doing 2 things. First, you're answering the question they're asking, and 2, you're providing a way for them to meet their end goal. In just a minute, we're going to give you a 4-step process for how to create ads based on user intent. But first, we want to talk about the types of keyword matches. This is information that you'll need to know when building your campaign, and the way that you configure this can greatly change the profitability.
The types of keyword matches are, first, an exact match. Here you're basically saying that the user has to type in your exact keywords for there to be a match. Similarly, with the phrase match, you're specifying that you want your keywords to show up in the order you've specified, but there can be words before or after as well. A broad match, on the other hand, is a bit more flexible. This allows matching based on related searches and synonyms. Usually this is the default type, and unless you know what you're doing and have a good reason for choosing another matching type, this one's usually best. Now, a modified match is a combination of a broad match and a phrase match. The only reason I don't recommend this over a broad match is because it's very possible to show up in completely unrelated searches. Finally, a negative match. It allows you to disable your ad if there are any irrelevant matches. For example, let's say you don't want your ad to show when the terms include the words worst or bad. You can include those words as a negative match so you're not showing up there.
Okay, so we've talked about the different types of keywords and matches that there are, and we've talked about the importance of trying to match to users' intent. So now we're going to give you a strategy for actually doing that. Creating ads based on the searcher's intent can be done in 4 steps. First, try to anticipate the questions, i.e. informational searches, that people might have in relation to your product or service. If you're a dermatologist, for example, you might have prospects asking, "How can I tell if a mole is cancerous?" Second, ask that question yourself. Go into Google and perform that search, and take note of the types of results you're getting. Chances are that they will contain other keywords you may not have thought of. Take note of those keywords. Third, research the keywords you found. There are a few different online tools that you can use to do this. I recommend Google Keyword Planner or wordtracker.com. In research, you're looking for keywords that are performing well and don't have a whole lot of competition. Once you've decided on a few high-performing, low-competition keywords that are highly relevant to your product or service, then you want to create your ad campaigns around those. Remember, these are most likely going to be the long-tail keywords we talked about when discussing SEO.
Once you've landed on some good intent-focused keywords, the next step is deciding how you want to pay for them. There are generally 3 ways. The first is a popular pay-per-click. This is a good option if you're simply trying to get people to your site. The cost per click can vary, and it can change your per demand. You can either set up automated bidding, where your account will automatically bid to use the keywords even as price fluctuates. Or what I recommend, at least until you get the hang of it, is setting up a maximum cost per click. Your account will continue to automatically bid on the keywords until it hits the maximum. The next way is to pay per view. In this case, you're paying a cost per 1,000 ad views. This option can be helpful if the goal of your campaign is to simply drive brand exposure. I don't use this a whole lot, to be honest, but that's not to say it's not effective. Finally, there's cost per acquisition. I use this one quite a bit. With this option, you're required to put a tracking code on your website. And then what happens is that when a person clicks on the ad, moves through the funnel, and eventually makes an appointment or submits a form, then you pay a certain amount for that. This will cost a bit more, but in my opinion, it's worth it because it ensures you're only paying for leads and prospects that make it all the way through your funnel.
After you've decided what type of campaign you want to run, you can begin working on writing a compelling ad. Now, when you're writing your ad, you want to focus on emphasizing those benefits, features, discounts, what have you, that separate you from the competition. Remember that you're primarily appealing to people's emotions, so a long list of technical features is probably not going to get the job done. Instead, you want to focus on the outcome, how your organization can help the user meet their goal, and how they'll feel once they do.
Your ad should also include a clear call to action. You want them to compare you against your competition, or you want them to download your ebook, or you want them to book an appointment. Whatever it is, it needs to be absolutely clear to them what the next step is.
Okay, let's talk briefly about Facebook ads, and then we'll move on to designing your landing pages. What we'll talk about here is the elements of your ad, the best purchase option, and then I'll give you a tool to cheat a little bit. There are 4 elements of a Facebook ad. First is the image or video. This is what's going to capture your audience's attention. It needs to be something bold, especially if you're advertising in the user's stream. You need to make sure that your ad stands out against all of the other content that's flowing downstream. Your image or video should be able to immediately capture your people's attention. And to be honest, it doesn't even have to be directly related to your offering. I used a picture of a water buffalo on an ad about improving patient relationships, because angry patients are like water buffaloes, I guess. My point is, it really doesn't matter so much as long as you're capturing people's attention and getting them to stop for a second. Then you have to write your headline. Your headline should do 2 things. First, it should qualify your leads, and second, it should inspire them to act. A good, easy way that I've found to do this is to ask a question and offer a solution. If you're a dentist, for example, you can accompany a picture of a person with a beautiful smile with the heading, "Have you been ignoring your oral health? Sign up for a consultation for free." Not only are you identifying a problematic behavior, but you're offering a chance at a solution for free. Next is your content. There are a few different ways that you can do your content. You can do short and sweet, highlighting only 1 or 2 primary benefits of your offering, or you can go long. Generally, I recommend going short and sweet, but there are times when something requires a bit more detailed explanation. Longer form content can also be effective when you have an extremely well-defined and narrow niche. If you're able to reach people on a very specific issue, then you can use the ad to discuss, empathize, or educate them more about that issue. So, like so many things, you ultimately have to decide based on who your market is and who your patients are. Finally, there's the call to action. This is the little button below your ad. Usually, you'll say something like sign up, learn more, schedule now, etc. You're basically using this spot to, in 1 or 2 words, invite the audience to move to the next step in the funnel.
Moving on to the best purchase option. In my experience, it's the cost per acquisition option. By choosing that option, you only pay for visitors who convert, and so you don't have to worry about overpaying for a bunch of unqualified leads, especially when you're first starting out. Comparing your number of clicks to your number of conversions, i.e., your conversion rate, can help you understand how your ad is performing in the beginning. Lastly, we just wanted to share this quick trick of the trade with you. That tool is the Facebook Ad Library. You can visit the Facebook Ad Library and see all the ads that are currently being run. It allows you to search by advertiser name, so you can check in on your competition. This is really powerful. You can take a look at what your competitors are doing. If their ads seem to be working, then you can do something similar. But if they're overlooking a specific angle, you can do something completely different to set yourself apart. And with that, we're going to move on to how to optimize your website for conversions.
If there's anything you'd like to learn more about, anything that you feel like maybe we didn't go deep enough or even overlooked, please reach out to us. And of course, if you feel like we can help you in your online marketing efforts, we would love to hear from you. You can reach us at hello@epowet.com or via the links below. Take care.